sparkly.
I'm bubbly.
And together, we're Mineragua.
The fresh, sparkling water for those who are bubbling over with life
and crave new experiences.
Are you thirsty for adventure, more laughs, and more excitement?
With Mineragua in hand, it's easy to live life with sparkle.
Just look for the glass bottles with tiny bubbles wrapped in blue.
And you'll taste and feel the difference of Mineragua sparkling water.
Mineragua, get your fizz.
Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
There are hundreds of new exclusive stations to check out today.
For summer barbecues,
road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
For every mood, every interest, every passion. By Odyssey. Brought to you in part by Macy's and Geico.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to show number 3,222. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, Robin Fox, and Mike Hawk. That's it. Hi in the Men's Room. On tap today, once again, we play Big Dummy. Ted's meat and potatoes goes all Cinnamon Toast Crunch all the time. Yeah. Get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, Men's Room Shout of the Day, fun listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV time with Ted.
Clack, drinking the drunk.
All right, here we go. Florida man arrested in domestic after throwing a McDonald's McDouble at his girlfriend's head. Meanwhile, Florida man breaks into a truck so his underwear would not have skid marks or tread. Florida man arrested after dancing naked in his driveway, throwing rocks at passing cars. A youth hockey coach attacks referee, and instead of time in the box, it could be bars. And a woman in Peoria, Illinois, goes all out during her DUI arrest. All out. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, today is the day that we play Big Dummy, the game show that rewards you for your stunning ignorance. Here's how it works. You call us, we will spin the... just let me get there, man. We will spin the category wheel, and then we'll ask you a question from that category. Here's where Here's where Big Dummy separates itself from your average, more reputable game show. We will continue to ask you questions until you get one right. Because, as always, we want you to leave here smarter than you showed up. So far this year, our biggest dummy is the lovely and talented Sean, who slow roasted 6 pounds of stupid and found a way to answer 13 consecutive questions wrong. Can you do better? Everyone else has. Of course you can. So give us a call, and off we go. I'm Big Dummy.
Big contestant to play Big Dummy. Call 844-999-OLA. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
I'm sparkly.
I'm bubbly.
And together, we're Mineragua.
The fresh, sparkling water for those who are bubbling over with life
and crave new experiences.
Are you thirsty for adventure, more laughs, and more excitement?
With Mineragua in hand, it's easy to live life with sparkle.
Just look for the glass bottles with tiny bubbles wrapped in blue.
And you'll taste and feel the difference of Mineragua sparkling water.
Mineragua, get your fizz.
Home, It looks a little different for everyone. For some, it's a rustic cabin. For others, a big city high-rise. And for others, it's renting a tiny studio that said it had laundry in the building, but the dryer's always broken. And don't get me started on the gym. That's not a gym, it's an elliptical machine and a boiler room. And let's not even discuss parking. But no matter where you call home, Geico makes it easy to bundle and save on renters and car insurance. Easier than getting your landlord to return your calls. You can't hide forever, Leonard.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Oh, but y'all, away we go. Welcome to show number 3,222. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat, Steve, as once again, we play the game known as Big Dummy. 844-999-OLA. We spin the category wheel. You're either playing for Team Sober or Team Not Sober. As you stated, our biggest dummy, that would be Sean. And it took him 14 questions to get one question correct. Now, before we get to the game known as Big Dummy and our Men's Room poll, which we do every time we play the game, just so you know, a couple of updates. Now, we do understand that, believe it or not, a few of our affiliates outside of the area will take all 4 hours of this program, and that includes our folks at Rock 105 in Chattanooga, Tennessee, also in Clovis, New Mexico, Plainview, Texas, and Grand Forks, North Dakota. Now, if you are hearing this, just understand that this is the state of things right now in Seattle, Washington. We hope this does not come your way. We have a feeling that that is inevitable, but just keep in mind some of the things that are going on as far as our situation in Seattle. And we'll keep you updated as far as that goes throughout the day. But just know, as of today, Jay Inslee came out yesterday and said, look, no more.
The governor of Washington.
The governor of Washington, correct. And said, as far as assemblies go, no more than 250 people anywhere. Now, if you are in downtown Seattle, you can't even believe that's a possibility.
Right.
As everything has, in fact, been canceled. However, today, Jay Inslee ordered that all private, public, and K-12 schools in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties will be closed through April 24th due to the coronavirus concerns. So if you're a parent, just be aware your kid's not going to be in school for longer than a month at this point in the foreseeable future.
Homeschooling.
And not that we know all the specifics coming out of Washington, D.C. right now, but President Trump said he might restrict travel to Washington State over the coronavirus and other areas that are hotspots. So just know if you have family coming into town or friends or you have any plans on that nature.
We're still coming into town. Yeah, dog. I was going to visit you out there in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know what happened to the kid. He's sick. Yeah, I can't make it, player.
I don't think that's a good idea. I know, Ted, your mom said, hey, why don't you just get out of there for a while and come see her?
I know, and she means well, but I'm like, Mom, you're 75. First of all, I'm not getting on a plane, but you do not want me coming from Seattle to your home.
I love your mom. Your mom is sweet to the point that she puts herself in peril.
I know. Let's get real.
Yeah, restaurants in town are closing. One of the main chefs in town, Tom Douglas, he closed, I think, 13 of 14 restaurants for the time being temporarily. Things are slowly shutting down here in Seattle and also nationwide. Disneyland has closed.
Disneyland, sports are done.
Due to the coronavirus. Disney World, that is not included right now. It is just Disneyland down in Anaheim, California. And as far as you say, Ted, the sporting world is concerned, the NCAA tournaments are canceled. Major League Baseball says opening day is going to be pushed back at least 2 weeks for the time being. NHL has suspended play due to the virus. And now we have a second Jazz player in the NBA who has tested positive.
Because he had jazz hands. And he took his jazz hands and touched all the microphones.
And credit where credit's due, because we talk about commissioners of leagues a lot in here, for whatever reason, good or bad. But
mostly bad, but occasionally good.
But the commissioner of the NBA, he kind of spearheaded this.
Yeah.
Silver was the first one to say, look, get the players off the court last night before the Jazz game. The fans were there. I mean, other games play, they have suspended. But during that time.
Yeah, the fans had shown up.
The fans were there.
I think they'd maybe gone through like player introductions and like,
they were about to tip off. I mean, and when you see that yesterday, it's alarming.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
So whatever information that we get is pertinent. Just keep in mind that we will pass that along to you throughout the show as needed. But in the meantime, let's do a little escapism here and play the game known as Big Dummy. As we say, it's an easy game to play. Team sober versus team not sober. And we do a little men's room poll every time we play the big game. And the last time we were playing, things weren't as crazy as they are right now. So we asked you, smell your finger after 30 seconds.
Sign of things not being crazy, Miles.
Your choices were stick your finger in a kangaroo pouch, which we later figure out is just when the baby's in there, the baby's doing all the business. Throwing
right,
up, pooping, eating, feeding. And we also learned that it's not hairy inside. It's kind of a
damp,
pink, skinny thing.
It's a horrible place. That's the best way to describe it.
But you were going to just stick your finger in there and then, smell it after you had it in there for 30 seconds. Your other choice was a dolphin blowhole. Some theorize that the salt water would keep it a little cleaner.
No!
But we know it's a disgusting place.
Yeah.
Elephant trunk.
Chlamydia.
Mm-hmm. Elephant trunk was another choice. And then we saw that elephants often help their fellow animal by giving them an enema every once in a while with that trunk.
I don't know if an enema would technically be the word, but the end result is the same. Mm-hmm. Am I going to borrow your trunk because I got a blockage?
And the final thing was expressing your dog's anal glands. So,
which again is reasonably speaking, it's the most likely thing you'll do. But I remember almost nobody picked that. This is something you might do in your life.
Right.
If you have a dog. And it seemed like nobody wanted to do it anyway.
Now, if you follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live, we put the poll up there for you every week. And here are the results of last week's Men's Room poll. Believe it or not, the number one choice would be the dolphin blowhole. 41% of you said you wanted to put your finger there if you had to and smell it after 30 seconds.
Do you think dolphins would they be, if we could reveal this poll to dolphins and we said, just so you know, most people would choose to smell your blowhole.
They'd be pretty proud. Flattered? They'd be proud, sure. Considering the other options, a kangaroo pouch number 2 at 29%, followed by an elephant trunk at 26%. All those were pretty close, believe it or not. But expressing a dog's glands, most people have a dog in this area.
Sure.
That is the one thing for a fact that nobody wanted to put their finger on for 30 seconds to smell that. Only 4%. 4%. Yeah. You'd rather stick your finger in a dolphin blowhole or a kangaroo pouch or an elephant trunk than the dog that sleeps beside you every night in your bed.
This is how we learn about each other.
Yeah, exactly. So this time on the Men's Room poll, we're going to take into consideration what's going on.
There's plenty of people I would share a bed with that I would not express anything dealing with their glands.
I know, but it's just this. With people, you're not obligated. With your dog, there's a certain amount of obligation. You can pay someone or you do it yourself. Most people, half the people I know with the dog have done this. No one has ever said anything positive. It's not that. But even though that is a definitive possibility in your life, like, yeah, I don't want to do it. I would rather do something that's super unlikely, like stick my finger in a dolphin's blowhole.
Yeah. And so this time on the Men's Room poll, as we just find out, Princess Cruises are suspending operations for 60 days. More information is coming in here. We're gonna quarantine ourselves, and we're gonna pick a spot for quarantine. This is a very real situation. The Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, quarantined himself based on the basis that he believes that his wife had exposure to someone with the virus. So now he is in quarantine, and it's just it's a new fact of life that this could very well happen to you. Those NBA guys are in quarantine. There's people on cruise ships. It happened to
Italy. There's a good chance it's going to happen to the whole country.
Correct.
So it's not like it's some island nation. I mean, it's Italy.
Yeah. We're going to pick a spot for quarantine. Now, this is going to be a difficult thing, all right? Because depending on your situation, you're going to have to pick one of these for reasons. And the number one place that you could be quarantined is a cruise ship. Mm-hmm. Now, ironically enough, we read a story yesterday. We'll read the email coming up for you. But we read a story about the ship that is quarantined now off of the coast in Oakland. So it must be in the harbor there, right? Someplace close. Either way, there is a couple on there, and they are from Seattle. We read their names on the air. They were expressing to Como News, I believe, exactly what their situation was like. Lo and behold, they must have caught wind of it. They sent us an email. So we'll read their situation, but it does not sound like they are having a good time. Matter of fact, you know what?
No.
I'll just read it to you right now. Hell, let's see.
Quarantine generally does not couple with fun.
Here's the email. The Grand Princess is the subject. Old Macholos, this is Mick and Thea Fleming on the Grand Princess update. Still in quarantine on the ship. We docked on Monday. Still sitting on the goddamn boat. Us and some other fellow Washingtonians reached out to our governor yesterday to come and get us so we can do our 14-day quarantine at home. No response. They left us at the mercy of our government. Other state governments have sent transports to pick up their people so they can be home to do their quarantine there, but not our governor yet. So whenever we get off this godforsaken boat, we are going to be shipped to probably Texas or Georgia for 14 goddamn more days of quarantine. Just reading it as it is, and believe it or not, I'm editing a lot as I go.
I can believe that.
A big thanks to our governor for helping out your people. That's all, bitches. Love the show, Liquor and Horse, that from Mick and Thea Fleming, who are stranded on the Grand Princess. So,
and I responded by saying, what do you mean, you people? Might as well make it a little uncomfortable there.
So your number one pick for quarantine is going to be a cruise ship. And Steve, you said that you spent some time on a cruise ship.
Last year, yeah. But here's the thing, all right? So, you're not just on the ship, you were stuck in the cabin. My cabin was fine. It was tiny, but had a balcony, and my cruise happened to be on the Mediterranean. So in theory, that sounds romantic.
Italy,
and
isn't that correct?
Italy, I might be responsible. But for 14 days not being able to leave the room, that balcony's not going to be enough.
Well, most people don't have a balcony. That's what you have to remember. You do quarantine. I mean, you guys got a nice room in that instance because it was your 50th birthday.
Yeah,
kind of hooking it up a little bit.
Yeah, some of them don't even have windows.
And keep in mind
about that.
You're not allowed to smoke on those balconies.
Oh, now listen, that I don't care because what are you going to kick me off the boat? Yes, I'm smoking a cigarette in the cabin that I can't leave. Sorry.
Okay.
Come arrest me.
So we're going to...
You know what? That's a solid point.
I mean, and I'm not trying to be that guy, but if you're a smoker, I mean, like anything, it's like, listen, man, I'm going to go ahead and spark up. I'm stuck here for 14 days. You should be happier that I'm choosing to smoke in your cabin than I am kicking down the door and walking around the boat, right?
And as soon as they walk in, you go, get out.
Yeah, I mean, like, what, are they going to arrest you? Smoking. Kick me off the boat. Come on.
So cruise ship is your first spot for a quarantine. The number 2 choice, and depending on your life and where you live, this might be a viable option, but your worst apartment. The worst place you ever lived. So, Ted, I have a feeling that's going to be in a basement.
Yep.
Where 2 people died.
Where 2 people died in a fire.
Correct.
At separate times.
Separate instances.
Yes.
Not
2
that
deaths.
2 were in there and a fire happened.
No.
It was one person died in there, and then years later, another person died in there, and now Ted's living.
So, worst room or apartment?
No,
well, that's
your
part
room.
Of it. Yeah, that's
you are in that basement with your mattress and the ghost of 2
4
burned up
mattresses.
people.
Yeah,
4 mattresses.
Think about the room.
And there's
you
a
live
toilet,
in.
but no shower.
Okay, so
14 days.
That's your option.
All right.
Okay. I have a horrible option as well. I would never want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
That building had burned down. It had been gutted, but they put up like a drop ceiling so you couldn't see that the entire inside of the roof and
You
everything
could just smell it?
had been charred. Yeah, it always smelled like a barbecue in this apartment, but it didn't smell like a good one. Next up is you would stay at your in-laws. And depending on your situation, yeah, I mean, it could be your last girlfriend's family, your last boyfriend's family.
Can you pick the girlfriend and the family?
You got to pick the worst one. You know, when we say in-laws, it's never a positive connotation.
What about I'd even give you most recent. So if you say, look, I'm not with anyone now. Well, I don't know anything about your ex, but if that's most recent, them.
But if you like them, that's a viable option, right? Okay. And then the next up on the list of picking a spot for a quarantine, that would be beautiful Reno, Nevada.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the whole town's yours.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, give me Reno.
You're taking Reno?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd be begging to get in that basement.
Have you spent any time in Reno?
Give me back with the burned up ghost.
Reno's like Vegas. It's got a time limit on it. Like, you can only go there for
Reno
so long.
is not
before you go,
like
I
Vegas.
gotta go home. I know for different reasons.
No. Baking cookies is like Vegas. There's a time limit. Reno is like nothing else.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, all right. So those are your options. You're going to pick a spot for quarantine.
It's in Nevada. It's like Vegas.
Will it be
Thrill, you came by that house. I don't know if I ever took you downstairs to show you that room.
No, you told me when I went by that house, you expressly told me you did not want to show me. Yeah, I remember that. You're like, dude, I feel that bad about it. It's like, dude, I know you're broke. They don't pay you anything. You're like, no, I understand that. Well, that's part of the thing. I told my mom after I got my first apartment with my friends, and keep in mind it was $125 a month, and there were 6 of us that were living in this 3-bedroom apartment. So a couple people split a room. There was a guy who lived in the corner of the living room, and boy, he was not happy. Craig wasn't, because we'd watch television and stay up later. Take out the living room.
It's
that's
the living room.
Yeah, it's his living.
You have to be the night owl. If you take the living, like, who stays up the latest on average? You take the living room.
But I didn't want my mom to go. But I didn't want her to see where I lived, because I didn't want her to see the conditions that I was living in, because like anything else.
She loves you.
Well, yeah, and I didn't want her to see that I was living on milk crates and all those things that you find when
I did not see this, but the story is my mom, after she saw it, went home and cried.
Where you were living?
Yeah.
So she saw where you moved into?
It was that bad.
Okay.
Yeah. That place was horrible.
You don't want to make your mother cry again. You don't want to be
No. I'm going to Reno.
All right,
I'm going to shoot dice with no dealer. Right? It's just me in the town, or is there people?
I mean, it might be other people.
It's Reno.
Whoever chose Reno.
Whatever happens in Reno is in Reno. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, hop on the Ted train. We're going to Reno, boys.
There's all kinds of fun there. So that's our poll for today. You're going to put yourself in quarantine. You're going to pick a spot. Is it going to be a cruise ship? Is it going to be your worst apartment? Will it be your in-laws or Reno, Nevada? In the meantime, the game is Big Dummy. 844-999-OLA. Who is our first contestant ready to play the big game?
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Big Dummy.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola. Chris, you on team sober, team not sober?
Definitely not sober.
All right, Chris, welcome to the show. Okay.
Alrighty.
You got to pick a spot for quarantine. Will it be a cruise ship, your worst apartment, the in-laws, or Reno, Nevada?
I'll do the in-laws.
You're going to go to the in-laws. You enjoy time with your in-laws?
Hell no.
You do not?
I'll do quarantine there.
Do they have a nice spread?
What was that?
Like, do they have a nice place? Like, if you're going to go to your in-laws, do they have a pool? Do they have, like, a hot tub? Is there, you know what I mean? Anything to do there?
No, just 4 walls and a roof.
All right. Okay, in-laws it is.
Do you like your in-laws? No. All right. Just so quick and upbeat about it. Can't stand them, but I'd stay there. All right.
Well, yeah, in-laws. You're married to her.
All right, here's your question. How many Canadian provinces border the Pacific Ocean?
Ooh.
2?
That was my guess. It's only one, British Columbia.
One. Yep.
I guessed 2 as well. I knew British Columbia, and then for no reason, I just assumed there had to be another.
People don't realize how big Vancouver Island is. That thing basically goes almost all the way to the bottom part of Alaska.
Right, it's massive. All right, your next question. How many U.S. states border the Pacific Ocean?
Repeat the question?
How many states border the Pacific Ocean?
3.
5.
I've got the Alaska and Hawaii, yeah.
Yep. You got Washington, Oregon, California. Yeah, I figured you're either going to guess 3 or 4.
That ain't connected.
Yeah, I'm with him, man. We only count to 48.
Yeah.
All right, question 3.
Question number 3. Speaking of the coronavirus, COVID-19, the coronavirus, originated in what Chinese province?
Ugh.
It was the first name they had for it, in fact.
Yeah, I don't really... Yeah, I'm going to pass.
Wuhan. Before it was Corona, it was Wuhan. Before it was COVID-19, it was Corona. It's kind of like P. Diddy. You know, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs. It kind of switches it up. Keeps you guessing. All right. Canfield, Klondike, and Pyramid are all variations of what card game?
Bridge?
Oh, not a bad guess.
Nope.
Solitaire, I believe. You're so lonely, you come up with 3 different ways to play the game.
Back with question 5 with Chris and more of Big Dummy. If you'd like to be a contestant, 844-999-OLA. You are listening to the Mentor Radio Network.
I need a change. You've been cold to me too many times. You're wasting money. You're a leaker. So I'm replacing you with a new Navien tankless water heater. No more cold shoulders, no more leaks. Just spa-like comfort and Navien peace of mind. And oh, I want you out today.
When you're ready for a change, ask your plumber about Navien or visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Count on Navien.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry. With 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hola, bichola! You have entered the men's room.
All right, the game is Big Dummy, 844-999-OLA. We've got Chris on the line. Chris playing for Team Not Sober. Chris, you are now on question number 5.
Welcome back to the show, Chris. Question number 5 for you, Busby. That's one name. Busby is the mascot for what?
Ooh, yeah.
Busby?
Busby.
Something to do with the bee.
What are bees like?
Team. Something with the Hornets.
Come on,
dude. Bees.
Who's the most famous bee you know?
Where do they vomit?
I guess it's Busby, but I don't know where he's located.
Busby would be the spokesperson for Honey Nut Cheerios.
Okay. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, how many other bees, like, if you said think of all the famous bees you could name, he's the one. Didn't name another bee?
I don't eat Cheerios.
You don't, wait, you don't eat cereal?
No, I usually don't, no.
What about like when what about when you were a kid? Did you just not eat it? It's not interesting, you don't like it?
Pretty much sugar. Like Captain Crunch, Trix.
Well, there's other cereals, man. I mean, you could do shredded wheat or grape nuts, but no. All right, your next question, number 6.
You sound like a man that would enjoy a cereal.
Yeah, you sound pretty stoned, Chris.
Yeah.
You know what? Try some Honey Nut Cheerios, bro. You'll like it.
All right, we can come to that. Yeah, that's good.
All right. Now, what part of the human body experiences different growth rates called anagen, catagen and telogen. Now, as a hint, women often have it removed, while men sometimes like to have it added.
My first thought was ears, but yeah, that's not going to happen.
Most women not removing their ears.
You've seen that earless woman? She can't read the menu.
I'm going to say eyelids or eyebrows or eyelashes. Eyelashes, yeah.
I'll give it to you. Okay. The answer is hair, but at least you pieced together that it was a form of hair, so it's like, all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Jesus Christ, what's going on?
What is that a child?
I don't know.
I don't think that was a child.
I think it was just like
if it was a child, I do not believe it was a human child.
You don't want to be quarantined there. All right, the game is Big Dummy. 844-999-OLA. Who is our next contestant ready to play the big game?
Hello, David. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. David, are you playing for Team Sober or Team Not Sober?
Team Sober.
Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to put you in quarantine, which is normally 14 days. So pick a spot for quarantine. Will it be a cruise ship, your worst apartment, your in-laws, or Reno, Nevada?
My in-laws.
You like your in-laws?
Yeah, man. They make like weed butter. They make a lot of weed butter.
Okay. That's the first quality you bring up.
Oh, it's okay. That's what we're asking.
Do you like them? Yes, they make weed butter. Would you like them?
Do they have one of those emulsifiers that look like a blender, or do they have their own technique?
I have no idea. I think they do it on their own.
Okay. Would you still like them if they did not make weed butter?
Yeah, because they're hippies.
Okay.
All right. So they're smoking it too.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Here is your question. And it's probably the first question on your mind when you woke up this morning, so I'll just ask it again. How many teats does a cow have?
4?
Damn.
All right.
Yeah. You know your teeth.
Yeah, no
Be
kidding.
proud.
Ted, you did that, right?
I milked a cow once.
I've never done that. What was that like?
You know, as a child, it was an adventure.
It was.
Yeah, we took a field trip to a farm, and we got to pull a teat.
What does that thing feel like in your hand? Is it like a warm rubber hose, or?
No, it feels like a small leather pouch.
All right. Feels like you're dating Farrah Fawcett back in life today.
I also want to just reiterate, we took a field trip to go see cows.
Sure. Well, you're in D.C.
Yeah.
This is important.
It was ghetto stuff.
All right, the game is Big Dummy. 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Big Dummy.
Hello, Chris.
Chris.
Hola. Chris, you on Team Sober, Team Not Sober?
Not sober.
All right, Chris. Second Chris on Team Not Sober for the day. All right, Chris, men's room poll. Pick a spot for quarantine. Will it be a cruise ship, your worst apartment, in-laws, or Reno, Nevada?
Reno.
Reno. All right, nice.
You ever been to Reno?
I have not.
You'll be there for 2 weeks.
We know you haven't. That's why you picked Reno. That's how we can tell. If you picked Reno, either you're from there and have family, or you've never been. That's
exactly.
All right. Well, Mike's coming with me, and we're bringing our jerky.
He's going to Reno?
Yep.
All right. The Jerky Brothers. That's right, the word Jerky Brothers. All right, here's your question.
Hey, whose tools are these?
Which president, ironically enough, said the ballot is stronger than the bullet?
Yeah, I'm just going to take a shot in the dark with that and throw out Nixon.
Nope.
I'll say it's Ronald Reagan.
Nope.
Kennedy?
Abraham Lincoln.
I knew it was
that's what it's somebody who's been shot.
Right. The ballot is stronger than the bullet. John Wilkes Booth hit him in the back of the head with a ballot, you see.
Well, I still don't trust actors.
That's right. He was an actor. Mm-hmm. All right, your question. How many cars does the character Memphis has to steal to save his brother in the movie Gone in 60 Seconds? No, up.
A few times too, man. I've got 6.
50. He had to get 50.
Come on, man.
Your brother would have been whacked. Man, oh, man.
All right, 50 it is.
What was the name of the car he loved? Was it Lucille or something?
I was going to say, it's a woman's name, and I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not the only
Cindy?
All right, your question, multiple
Betty.
choice. Multiple choice. Since we're all talking about the virus lately, the word virus, that's the Latin word for poison, infection, fear, or invasion. So virus is just a Latin word for which? Poison, infection, fear, or invasion?
Invasion?
That'd be my guess.
Well, thank you, because I had to come up with the other three that are not the... Virus is the Latin word for my favorite band ever. I mean, my favorite band ever, Poison.
Oh!
That's right.
Name of that car was Eleanor.
Eleanor, yes. Hey, Chris, hang on the line for a second.
Yeah, we'll get back to you and get to question number 5. The Chris's are tearing it up today, especially for Team Not Sober. If you'd like to be a contestant and play the big game, call 844-999-OLA. More of Big Dummy coming up in seconds.
The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.
A message from the Washington State Department of Health. What's your summer style? Are you into boating, barbecues, bonfires, late nights, road trips, rodeos, Ren fairs? Whatever you're into, you can do a lot more of it once you get your COVID-19 vaccine. And you can use the state of Washington's vaccine locator tool to book an appointment near you. Visit vaccinatewa.org to schedule your vaccination and start doing more of whatever you're into. vaccinatewa.org.